Hello class. Today I will be presenting my second task, history. More specifically, the history of the Kuiper Belt. As you may have guessed, the Kuiper Belt was named after someone with the last name Kuiper. More specifically, Gerard Peter Kuiper. A Dutch-born American, he was born in Tweegenhoorn, North Holland in the Netherlands, in the year 1905. He had extraordinary eyesight, allowing him to see stars 4 times fainter than the average eye. He went to Leiden University in 1924, where he got his BSc, Bachelor of Science, in astronomy. As for discoveries, he discovered 2 new natural satellites orbiting Uranus and Neptune, as well as the atmosphere of Mars and the methane lakes of Saturn's moon, Titan. He also helped identify landing sites for lunar missions. Though his most well-known and recognized task was him theorizing the Kuiper Belt, an area beyond Neptune with occasional icy objects. The Kuiper Belt does not reflect the scale of what Kuiper predicted, but he predicted this over 25 years before the first KBO, Kuiper Belt object, other than Pluto, was discovered. After this, as you may know from my first video, they began to discover more and more and more Kuiper Belt objects of all shapes, sizes, and compositions. The region was named the Kuiper Belt in 2006 when Eris was discovered and Pluto lost planetary status. So far, there's been no exploration of Kuiper Belt objects, but a space probe named New Horizons was sent by NASA to explore Pluto and other objects, with its scheduled arrival time being July 2015. 1 year and 2 months, baby! This is the most well-known history of the Kuiper Belt, but not the most accurate. First off, there were multiple people who theorized the Kuiper Belt, and Kuiper was not the first. The first astronomer to theorize that there was more similar objects near Pluto was Frederick Leonard. Later in 1930, astronomer Armin Leuschner theorized that there are more objects yet to be discovered and that Pluto was the first of many objects to be discovered in the same region. 13 years later, in 1943, in the Journal of British Astronomical Association, Kenneth Edward hypothesized that the objects in the area around Pluto were too widely spaced to form a planet or planets, and so the region became full of smaller bodies. Today, it is thought that Neptune contributes to this, but it was a very accurate estimate for the time. So accurate that occasionally the Kuiper Belt is referred to the Edgeworth Kuiper Belt for Edgeworth's work in shedding light to this very unknown region in the solar system. Now, 8 years later, we come to Kuiper's piece of Kuiper Belt history. In 1951, in the Journal of Astrophysics, Gerard Kuiper theorized that there was a belt in the region long ago, but it was pushed away deeper into space by Pluto, which was a reasonable estimate at the time, considering that it was estimated that Pluto was the size of Earth. Side note, when Pluto was discovered, it was theorized that it was the size of Neptune. Over time, these estimates were gradually scaled down until it was at its present size. In the following years, other hypotheses were formed, but were ruled out when more research was done. In 1977, though, an icy object, 2060 Chiron, was discovered by Charles Kowal. Then in 1992, an object was discovered nearer to Pluto. This continued until we have the Kuiper Belt we have today. There is one problem that still remains, the name. Both Edgeworth and Kuiper didn't have the first or most accurate hypothesis. First hypothesis of a Kuiper Belt was made by Frederick Leonard, as we discussed, in 1930, 21 years before Kuiper's, and the most accurate was made by Fred Whipple, who estimated in 1964 that there were thousands of comet-like objects in the Kuiper Belt. Many people think that the belt of icy objects should be named the Whipple Belt due to its very accurate estimate. This is the history of the, probably, outermost layer of our solar system. For our last video, we will do some research and experimentation into the science of the Kuiper-Whipple Belt.